Texans handled the Cowboys, and the Texans now 7-4. The Cowboys dropped to 3-7. After 3 straight 12-win seasons, the sky is falling in Dallas, literally and figuratively. The team came in with playoff aspirations, maybe Super Bowl aspirations, but here we are 10 games deep, and it's time to accept the Cowboys for who they really are. It's a poorly built team that continues to fail to get out of its own way. They were embarrassed last night at home. So they're in the same conversation with the Patriots and the Panthers. Nobody saw this one coming. The star on the helmet continues to keep Dallas in the news, and they will continue to hear about Micah Parsons' contract. We'll hear about the prospects of teams or players that the team has fallen in love with the draft, Jerry World, maybe wanting to tear down the stadium and build a new stadium, and part of the roof was falling and caving in last night. But the relationship with the Cowboys is always interesting because you either love them or you hate them. There's no middle ground. And what you're seeing right now, this is a juicy little payback to all those victories and all the attention that they receive for a 3-7 team. We'll start with CeeDee Lamb talking about what it's like to play for the Cowboys and when you face these opponents each week.
Obviously, everybody is looking to embarrass us, right? They have their opportunity. When they do, they try to, put us out. And we had so much success over the last 3 years as far as in the regular season. It's starting to bite us right now. So for us, we got to find ways. We got to find ways to gel together, play together, and finish this thing out.
Yeah, the TV executives have to be wringing their hands because they love Dallas. You got Dallas and the Giants, the annual Thanksgiving Day game. Then you have 2 primetime games on Monday night. You got Week 14 against the Bengals, and then you have Week 16 against the Buccaneers. We love watching Dallas, and those who love watching Dallas succeed, and those watching Dallas fail. You get a whole lot of one and a little bit of the other one this season. And Cooper Rush did okay last night. He's kind of non-threatening. I don't know if they get to the point where they go, let's just see if Trey Lance can play football. You gave up a 4th-round pick, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in the NFL, that's a big deal. Look at the receivers who have been traded for 4th-round picks this year. Maybe see if Trey Lance can play, and then if not, maybe you're moving on from him and Cooper Rush, but you're watching that Dallas team, and you keep waiting for something to happen. It's not going to happen. And Mike McCarthy is basically just kind of, twisting in the wind, and Jerry will bring in somebody next year. But there's bigger pictures, and we'll go back months and months ago, maybe last year, and Seton first brought this up. He said, Dallas has a problem because they have a guy who's going to make $50 or $60 million at quarterback. They got a wide receiver going to make $30 million, and then you have a defensive player who's probably going to be or want to be the highest defensive player in the game as far as how he's paid. You would think that's a good problem, but it's not because of how the team is built, the other positions, and they don't have a running game, and it is, I look at the Texans. Joe Mixon was a great pickup. Now, America's never going to embrace him for what happened off the field when he was in college, but he was good with the Bengals, and he was really good last night. This really helped C.J. Stroud. And C.J. Stroud has regressed a little bit, but the Texans are still a playoff caliber team in a really, really bad division. But you're watching last night, and the Texans do have some playmakers there. Nico Collins, when he plays, they play well. But Dallas has lost 5 home games, the first 5 home games for the first time since 1989. And they're getting blown out. They're giving up 37 points per game at home. The last time that happened, a team gave up that many points per game through 5 games, 1981. And if you go back to the playoff loss, we may have looked at the loss to Green Bay last year as an aberration in the playoffs, but it wasn't. Because if you go back to that loss, the Cowboys have lost 6 in a row at home, and they've trailed by at least 20 points in each of their 6 home losses. Like these are numbers that you never would have thought with Dallas, whether you like them or not. And this isn't all just, hey, Dak got injured. This is a bad team. They chose to bring back Zeke Elliott. They're just not, they're a one-dimensional team. And now with that dimension being Cooper Rush, you're not going to beat anybody.